jam you don't spread.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Radio Freak Jam. Merry Christmas to you all. And we're here with another Meet the Freaks with the one, the only, the very lovely Sarah Petherick.
Hello.
How you doing?
See, I'm back to front here.
Yeah, it's opposite.
Very strange.
It's a bit weird. Look, see, just, there you go.
No,
Down, everyone, it flummoxes everyone. It's a bit weird. How you doing, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. So let's start with why you're here, because you've never been to the jam night down at Bumbles.
I haven't.
You've never seen a From the Ashes gig.
I haven't.
But you met us at the start of lockdown.
Yeah. Well, I met Phil at the start of lockdown, and then I thought I'd do the new dating thing and go along and watch him, and then 9 months later, something like that. Now here.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? And do you remember the first show you sort of turned up on?
Yeah, I do. Over the weeks, I watched silently for a while, and then your name, you spotted my name and started calling Phil out on it, which was hilarious to watch. Him go, she's someone that I met, and she's loving us, and all of that stuff. So,
and we got chatting. Well, should I say we? Tony got chatting with you in the chat room as well over the course of that time, and you've become quite a little legend of your own right in that chat room.
What you mean is I never stop talking,
and you misbehave a lot.
No, me never.
So is music something that you were kind of into before all this? Because I have heard rumours that you were a bit of an emo rock chick at one point in time.
Here we go. Yeah, I was. My teenage years, I was definitely rocking the purple hair, nose piercing, flares, tip-pexing things in my backpack, band names and stuff.
What sort of bands?
So who was on my backpack? Slipknot. I liked Green Day, Limp Bizkit. Had a bit of a crush on Fred Durst. I know Phil's just chuckling in the background. God, there's so many. Now, see, I'm put on the spot, which is kind of what the point of tonight is.
Yeah.
Why can't I not think of anyone else? Deftones, yeah. Oh, and Incubus.
Incubus. Tony was an Incubus fan as well. She used to listen to a lot of that.
Yeah, I liked Incubus. But yeah, there was quite a few, but then music became. Well, I had children really young, so I started doing that thing and wasn't as into music then. But it's all come back recently.
So, what's the best gig you've been to?
Well, obviously, Thing Phil on Friday night, and there was Templeton Peck.
That's the right answer, obviously, but yeah.
I did see Michael Jackson back in the 90s.
That's kind of impressive.
It was impressive, but I can't think how old I was. I was about 8 or 9. So it was weird. And he flew off in a jetpack at the end of it, as you do when you're Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that sounds like a good end to a gig. I might have to work that into a Templeton Peck gig somehow.
If you could, that would be amazing. Josh was already doing it. I could see it now. Like, how can we get us all in jetpacks?
He'll be having wires and all sorts of things hooked up. It'll be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that already. The next Templeton Peck gig.
We'll give you a shout out for that idea as well. Well, we'll give Michael Jackson a shout out.
Well, so, he's going to answer you, if I'm honest.
Well, no, probably not. And you used to drink down the Agincourt, I do believe.
I did. The old Snakebite and Black.
You were a Snakebite and Black girl?
Was. I mean, I did tell a story on, they all merge into one these Saturday nights now, where actually, no, I think it was the quiz last week. I was down the Agincourt because obviously everyone looked older than they were. So I used to go down there when I was 15, 16 and thought I was an absolute legend because I was underage and I went down there with my mates and we did the whole, I'll say that I'm staying at your house. You say you're staying at my house. Our mums will never know. Of course they did. So my mum found out and I was down there and I got called up on stage, and I was like, well, this is amazing. People think I'm an absolute legend. Got called up on stage, and then got told that your mum's called because it turns out you're under 18 and you will need to leave. And it was horrific. But so up until then, I went to the Edge. But after that,
never stepped foot back in there since?
No, went a few weeks ago, actually. Well, no, not a few weeks ago. You know that weird part of this year where we were allowed to do stuff again for a short while?
Go out, but stay at home.
Yeah,
that bit. I remember that bit, yeah.
Yeah, me, Phil, and two of his friends, Max and Holly, went down to the cabin, and then we went down to the Edge, and it was weird because there was tables, so you had to sit around a table, but it smelled and looked exactly the same. I don't know if it's a good thing or not.
Is it one of those venues? I've never actually been into the Edge. It was one of the things I've ever made, but it was one of the where you walked in and the floor was sticky.
It smells of a mixture of beer, shame, despair, and epic hangovers.
Yeah, and sweat.
Yeah. And probably piss, actually, if I'm honest. No, it's good. It was really nice to go back, actually, and kind of remember some of those very drunken evenings.
Richard Carr is in the chat. He's saying he met his missus at the Edge.
Ah, nice.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
And Phil's saying, and they're all talking about it being a Masonic lodge as well. Are you in the Masons?
Well, yeah, a little bit. No, I'm not.
A little bit. You're either in or out. You can't. There's no half measures with that lot.
Simpsons. I know how it works.
So, I mean, getting back to obviously, we've had quite unique insight into your relationship with Phil. Because kind of every week I made a point of calling you out in the chat room and bringing it up with Phil.
Wow. It was amazing.
And, we were talking to you before you'd even properly met Phil, actually physically met Phil.
Yeah, well, we had kind of met at a distance. Yeah. But yeah, because we met the week before lockdown. So we met up once and then we couldn't see each other, which was really rubbish. We went on a lot of 2 meter apart walks, went on a lot of walks. But yeah, no, it was nice. It's kind of weird that you guys have been there since the beginning.
I've got the video that you sent us.
Oh God!
Do you want to see it? So this is what, back in April, May? You sent this in to us, probably.
I have no idea.
Probably around then. So this was the very first time we properly got to see Sarah when she sent the video. And I was asking people to send videos in, and she very kindly did, with a little message for us and a little message for Phil. So this is the first time we saw Sarah. So this is Sarah's video.
Hey guys, Ian sent me a message to ask me to say hello, so I'm doing that. Hi Ian, hi Tony, hope you're having a good Thursday. I have to say Thursday's becoming a very fun night for me now. Phil asked me to check out FreakJams on a Thursday. Obviously I would do that to try and impress the new crush, and it's becoming really fun. I really enjoy it. Everyone has such a giggle. Everyone seems like they actually quite like each other, which is quite nice. I'd love to come down once we can get out of this ridiculous situation that the world has got itself into, and we can go and have a nice drink and listen to some good music. Obviously also want to say hello to the lovely Phil, who told me about this. You might have heard of him. He's quite partial to a big backdrop, and usually has Ainsley Harriott on bass, but yeah, it's become a bit of a legend. And yes, so I'm just saying hi to you guys, and thank you for having my little video. Bye.
Bye. I was looking for this earlier and I found it and I played it to make sure it was the right video, and Tony said, wow, she looks so sober.
Yeah, it's amazing what lockdown did to everybody.
And Phil's saying you look so young.
Yeah, what have you done to me? It's weird. And also I've had a bit of a tan. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's, that was in the times not long after we were let out. Obviously, we've all got a lot paler since then.
Yeah. And probably a lot older, actually.
But, now you are sat in Phil's house. You've got Phil's backdrop because he was too stingy to make you your own. and you come on a hell of a lot since then. So, it's really, really nice to see it. And, I do mean it when I say it's a bit of a heartfelt story and a bit of a highlight for me and Tony to have the pleasure of watching this develop. So, well done, guys.
Thanks. Yeah,
I also remember Tony's reaction when we played that video. And I came back to us and she was like, she's pretty. You better not fuck it up.
He's still trying, but hasn't succeeded yet, so that's good.
Well, there you go. And, since then, you've joined us on quiz nights. You've been a quiz master with Phil. You've joined us on the Saturday night chats. And now you're actually here on a broadcast. And, quite seriously, I know you're not a musician in the sense of the word that the people who join the Freak Jam are, but we need people like you. We need people who are into it, who want to listen, and who enjoy themselves. We need a good audience, and you've been a good audience. You've been fantastic.
Quite a loud one at the Templeton Pet gigs, to be honest.
That's got to be one of the highlights of the year. That was an absolute pleasure meeting you and Phil. I mean, obviously, I've met Phil a couple of times before all this, a bit like yourself. And then it was all over. But it was an absolute pleasure meeting you guys in the flesh, as it were.
It was so much fun. It was so weird. It was kind of meeting people that you knew really, really well, but actually seeing them, I kind of just wanted to poke everybody. Like, are you actually there? It was so good. So much fun. And you guys, all right to listen to.
Any gossip anything you can tell us about Phil? Any dirt you can spill? Anything that's not been... we've discussed a lot of this, but anything you can sort of tell everyone now?
Not really, because the guy likes to drink and he tends to overshare when that happens. So I feel like he's covered most things now.
Fair play. Well, what I do like about Phil is his sentiment, and he's definitely one of these guys who believes in being together and working with each other, and everything's broadly fine. So I've asked you to pick a few songs, and obviously you picked one of Phil's.
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce it, and then we'll have that?
Yeah. So this is Phil Reese with Each Other.
Oh.
As the world lost its mind, we're slipping into hell together. We're teetering on the precipice. It can't be like this forever. It seems the future's broken, and no one has got a clue. In times like this, darling, cling on to me and I'll hold on to you. At times like these, all we have is each other. Be gentle, be kind, look after one another. At times like these, all we have is each other, and I wouldn't change that for the world. Together we are stronger. We've got each other's backs. Disaster may affect us, but it won't stop us in our tracks. We can't fight the unknown, and we can't pretend that it's fine. Let's cling to each other and hold ourselves in line. Times like these, all we have is each other. Be gentle, be kind, look out for one another. At times like these, all we have is each other, and I wouldn't change that for the world. So stick with me and we'll have everything. Panic and worry can't change what's happening. As long as we have one another. Remember, hysteria comes and goes. So of this insanity, and no one knows what to believe. Believe in each other and look out for the ones in need. Look out for your friends and they will look out for you. If we take care of each other, there's nothing that we can't get through. Times like these, all we have is each other. Be gentle, be kind, look out for one another. At times like these, all we have is each other. And I wouldn't change that for the world.
That was Mr. Phil Reese there with Each Other, and I'm glad we've got each other, and I'm glad you two have got each other.
Yeah.
And he's broadly fine, so it's all good.
Right.
Internet dating.
Yeah.
That's how you met.
It is how we met, which is I'm just glad I don't have to do it again.
I've never done it. I mean, tell us a bit. I mean, what's that like? Swiping left, swiping right? I mean, I don't understand the whole process.
Honestly, it becomes a little bit like a full-time job. Just like having to, because you're trying to have your actual life, and then you've got to reply to messages, and then you've got to do the whole starting that conversation. How are you? Like, what do you do for a living? Then the man lies about how tall they are, all of that stuff. So it does become a bit tedious. But me and Phil started chatting on the Saturday, and I believe the Sunday night we spent about 5 to 6 hours on the phone.
False.
Was it false?
Yeah, you ignored me for a week.
Okay, all right. So he messaged me. And I kind of overlooked it a little bit because I was at that stage where I was like, do you know what, I'm going to give up because it's really hard work. I'm not clicking with anybody. And then for some reason I went back in, I saw his message and looked at his profile again, and I thought, he seems all right. So then we started chatting, and then the following day we spent till about 4-5 o'clock in the morning.
That seems to be a bit of a habit for you guys.
I mean, no, it's completely nice. But it was good. And we ended up, we were talking about music and our like Desert Island discs, and he ended up making, it was like a modern day mixtape. We were talking about our the songs that we would have on a Desert Island disc, which I would change now. I don't know how drunk I was. And he put it into a little Spotify playlist and then sent it to me at the end.
Oh,
very cute. So,
Aslan wants to know, how tall did Phil claim to be?
Do you know what? I don't remember. I think he actually told the truth. I think so. I think he did. Because he's not a wanker.
Well, look, this came up on our chat on Saturday, and both Josh and myself had an epiphany at that point in time about how wonderful it would be to do a Radio FreakJam blind date.
Oh, I kind of remember this from Saturday. I remember a lot.
Now, obviously, you and I both agreed that we had like 2 days to get something together, but never one to shy away from a challenge, Sarah.
Amazing.
I've sorted a little something here. Do you want to play a game with me?
Yeah.
Right. So, I have found you 4 suitors. One of those is Phil.
Oh no! What if I get this wrong?
So I have asked all 4 suitors 3 questions. Okay, so you might want to grab a pen and paper, just if you want to make some notes. If Phil can maybe sort you out pen and paper. Is that I need a drink, or is that I need a pen and paper?
I've still got a little bit of wine left.
in a lovely, lovely glass.
It is a beautiful glass. Do you know, I think my friends and family have, there's a theme with my presents, because I ended up with a wine glass from my Secret Santa, a wine glass from Phil, thank you, and a gin glass from one of his friends.
Wow.
I don't know what people are trying to tell me.
I have no clue. I don't know what any of it's about, Sarah. I think you're a very responsible young lady, and we'll get onto that in a bit.
Okay.
But let's play a game first.
Okay, I'm ready.
So you've got suitors A to D, all right? And I've asked them all the same 3 questions. I'm going to tell you the questions I have asked them, and I'm going to give you their answers. And quite simply, once we've got through the 3 questions, I want you to pick a suitor for your Radio FreakJam blind date. And let's hope it's Phil.
I'm sleeping on the sofa if it isn't.
So are you ready?
Yeah.
So question number 1 was, your house is on fire. Which 3 items do you grab on your way out?
Okay.
So that was the first question. Your house is on fire. Which 3 items do you grab on your way out? So suitor number A, he chose 2 guitars and an antique dagger.
Okay.
Suitor number B, or letter B, not number, chose backup drives, acoustic guitar, and memory box.
Right.
C, chose a toasting machine, a George Foreman grill, and a deep fat fryer. And D selected a phone, a guitar, and an old letter. Okay, so you don't have to make any decisions now. This is fine. We're going to go through these 3 questions. You're going to get to the answers, and then you get to choose at the end who your perfect date out of these 4 suitors will be. I'm not going to guarantee there's going to be a date because, you don't know who they are, and it could get complicated. So, number 2. Sum up your life in 1 word. Quite simply, sum up your life in 1 word.
Okay.
Suitor number 8, or letter A, said fun.
Okay.
Quite simply, fun. B said roller coaster.
Yeah.
C said Mexico.
I really want to know who C is.
And, maybe you have to choose and find out. I mean, this is how a blind date works.
Okay.
And D said fun, the same as A.
Man, guys, seriously. Okay. Okay.
You okay? You okay with that? Yeah?
Yeah.
So, number 3. If you could be a circus performer, what act would you be? So, if you could be a circus performer, what act would you be? Suitor A said lion tamer.
Yeah.
Suitor B said ringmaster.
Okay.
Suitor C said working in the beer tent.
Yeah.
And suitor D said clown. So, would you like me to go over any of those again?
Can I have B's answer to question 1, please?
B's answer to question 1 was
Do I
backup
need to call you
drives.
Cilla Black, by the way?
Sorry?
Do I need to call you Cilla Black or?
No, I'd rather you didn't, because it's not surprise, or or blind date. Really, this is our version. But this is just for you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Just wholly made up for you. Took me about 20 minutes. Suitor B for question 1 wanted backup drives, an acoustic guitar, and a memory box.
Okay. Oh, I'm torn between B and D. It's definitely not C. I don't think it's A. I think.
So, Sarah, out of all of these suitors, who would you like to go on a date with?
B.
That's me. Thank you very much.
Where are we going?
Well, I don't know. We'll go for a drink somewhere or something.
For curry?
I don't do curries. No, we're gonna fall out there. So, who do you think Phil was?
Was he D?
He was D.
I think. Oh no. Okay.
Any ideas on A and C?
Lion tamer, fun. Darren, I think is C.
No.
Oh, okay. Who's C?
C is Josh.
Okay.
I don't think he took the question seriously. I'm just saying.
Okay. With lion tamer, I'm going to go wispy because that's just something mental that he would do.
No, it was Aslan.
Of course it is.
And Tony's now upset in the chat room. You've upset my wife.
Sorry. Lion. Aslan's a lion. God damn it.
It was all there. It was all there. How you feeling, Phil?
Medium fine.
Medium fine. Just a medium fine. Sorry, Sarah.
Yeah.
But, Phil, you lost to a good person.
It's fair enough. I can't argue it.
It was the ring laughter that was confusing because, I know it's shocking that he likes to be the centre of attention and control the crowd and stuff. But, that was what threw me.
Everyone's having a good old laugh in the chat room there if you want to go and see that. And Wispy's saying, we're different people. Him and Aslan are not the same.
I'm surprised. I think they might be the same person.
Well, thank you for joining in and playing our first ever episode of Radio Freak Jam Blind Date. I think you done rather well.
Thanks.
Phil might feel different.
Yeah, I think he's about to throw something at me.
So come on, let's get a bit more into you. You're a nurse.
Well, strictly speaking, no. I'm actually a nursery nurse. It's very difficult. I usually go with it because it's very difficult to explain to people what I actually do. So I'm a nursery nurse, so I've done everything apart from the actual nurse training. But 10 years in the NHS, I take patients, I do everything that the nurses do, apart from medication.
Right.
So what the nurses class us as nurses, we are nurses, just we don't have that qualification to say that we are officially nurses.
So you work for the NHS?
Yeah.
You certainly have a nurse's uniform because we've seen you on the shows, but you're not technically a qualified nurse.
No, not yet.
You're working on that.
I'm currently filling in my application to start uni next year.
Wow.
I know.
So what does that involve?
3-year degree.
Right.
Yeah, it's. I know I can do it. It's just the formality, really. And I've had so many doctors, like the matron of my ward and stuff, have said, "You just have to do it. You're going to be amazing." So it's just doing the actual technical side of it.
And that's learning to do what?
Well, medication, really. I mean, a lot of the nurses, like especially when you get newly qualified nurses, they'll say that they didn't really learn how to be a nurse until they worked on a ward. And
Right.
I've been doing that for 2 years. I was in the community for 7 years. So yeah, it's just the technicalities, really.
Well, good luck, and I hope you push forward with that and get that through. I mean, just look, I couldn't do your job. There's a lot of people's jobs I couldn't do. And we all clapped for the NHS, deservedly so, over some of this time. And hopefully, you got my claps. I was sending them your way.
Yeah, thank you.
Good. So, tell us a little bit about what, as a nurse, you do on a daily basis.
Well, anything. So our wards, we take anything from, I think the youngest I've had is 4 days up to 17 years old. And it will be observations, consoling very upset, stressed parents, badgering doctors. We do that a lot. You have to chase them around a lot. There's so much to it. It's really hard to summarise it because it kind of undermines the job a little bit.
We got at least another half an hour to go, so tell us, just talk about this.
So we obviously look for signs of deterioration. We might, so we have, especially the last year, we've had, particularly with paediatrics, because COVID doesn't really affect children that badly. We've had a lot of mental health patients. So we've had a lot of teenagers that have come in crisis. We have that a lot anyway. There's usually peaks around like GCSE times, holidays and things are usually better because, teenagers are mean to each other. And when they're not being bullied at school, their mental health is usually a little bit better. But they're all really struggling with COVID. They're really struggling as we all are. So we've had a lot of kids come in, young people come in mental health crisis, and they're doing everything they can to make it all stop. And it's really hard.
So, and part of your job is to help them deal with their issues and sort through their issues. So what sort of ages do you work with?
Anything. I mean, today I was looking after a 3-month-old and then a 6-month-old. I was moved to ITU for a bit because we've got to cover them because obviously second wave is pretty shit. And then looking after a 16-year-old. It really varies. The ages go from pretty much birth up till adults.
So you, effectively as an untrained nurse, has to go and work on ITU with coronavirus patients. I mean, you're talking ITU Red earlier, which is like highest alert, right?
Yeah. All the patients in there today were COVID positive, on ventilators, and sedated, put into medically induced comas. So it was pretty scary actually to go in there, but we are going to have to cover them. We couldn't do a great deal of it in the first wave because we had 6 nurses redeployed. Right. It messed up our staffing a little bit. So then we couldn't cover them as a ward. So I want to be able to help this time. And they were so lovely today, and they all looked so stressed. They all just look absolutely knackered. And it was really nice, and they were so appreciative that I could go around there and actually, I was like, just tell me what to do, teach me how to do these things because we're going to be here a lot and I want to be able to help. And it took me a good sort of half an hour or so looking at, because I've only ever worked with kids, seeing these adults and seeing firsthand what COVID actually does. And it's pretty shit, really.
So, I mean, look, Wispy's in the chat room, he's saying that sounds really tough. And I totally agree. I mean, how do you cope with that? What sort, obviously I'd imagine that doing your job, you develop a sense of coping to a point. But, I mean, that's heavy stuff. I mean, some of the other stuff, which I won't go into because you've told us in, sort of private. Some of the stuff you've said is I couldn't see myself doing that every day. And, you deserve more than a clap for what you do. I mean, how do you cope with that? You kind of, it's like, you're lucky if you're in a good team because actually we've all been everyone's so supportive. And I, unfortunately, in the first lockdown, my youngest son had to go to my mum's for 3 months. Because I was going into work and I didn't want to bring it back to him. My mum was my childcare. I didn't want to pass it on to her. So that was really tough, not seeing him. But it was the safest thing to do. And that it's only a short-term thing. So, you just have to get on with it. We've all seen each other cry and be in absolute pieces on regular occasions. But also in nursing, you have to have quite dark humour. And we get through by saying jokes that you probably wouldn't say to like non-medical people because they think you're a little bit weird. I've experienced that, obviously, with Cindy, who's a midwife, and a few other people that I know that have worked in your sort of line of work. Yeah, you do have kind of dark sense of humour, you lot. Yeah,
you have to get through it, but you only say it in the staff room, and it helps to make a joke of it because we all know how compassionate we are and how you don't do that job for the money. You do it because you care about people and you want to help them.
You know, I mean, over lockdown, especially the start of lockdown, when none of us really understood this at all. You know, none of us had lived through anything like this. We've all had the flu, we've all had colds. But, you know, I was seeing stories of, like, nurses and doctors going home and sleeping in a tent in their garage. Yeah. I didn't actually realise you'd sent one of your boys away for 3 months. I mean, that is really, really heavy stuff. Yeah. And, you know, please, thank you from all of us for doing what you do. I know a lot of people are local to you that listen to the show around at Frimley Way. Yeah. So, you know, you are potentially there for their children if they need you. And, you know, I think it's amazing that you make that sacrifice. And, you know, we've all made sacrifices. I sat in my home to protect the NHS whilst you were on wards caring for children through one of the biggest health pandemics we've ever had.
Yeah, but also I think it affects you in different ways, being stuck at home. And I actually couldn't imagine. I feel really lucky that I've still got a job. And there's so many people that don't even have a job at the end of this. And yeah, it's been shit, but that's what we do. And I'm lucky enough to still be getting paid. So it's, I do feel lucky in that. And also I'm really bad at sitting still. I would have been the worst person to be on furlough and be in lockdown. I couldn't have coped with that.
Well, Phil says she's a hero and she makes me so proud, and I can fully understand why. I mean, especially talking to you now. Again, we've chatted about some of this on the Zoom calls and that we've had. Didn't realise that detail. So, I mean, fair play. Fully understand. You know, obviously, you know, you like a drink as well. That's a good way of dealing with things with us lot.
Yeah, drinking helps. Probably smoked way too much this year as well. Had some, you know, pretty serious breakdowns myself. But, you know, you have to pick yourself up and carry on because it's not going anywhere. And you just have to crack on with it and realise that you're helping.
So, you know, without breaking anything that you've signed or without saying anything you're not allowed to say, what's your prognosis as a somewhat professional who's working in the middle of this? What's your prognosis for the future of this?
I think we're only just beginning wave 2. Although positive today because being in ICU, there were some patients that weren't on ventilators. They just had, not a ventilator, they just have different kind of, it's called CPAP, which breathes for you in a different way, but you're not sedated for it. And the nurses were saying, you know, the first wave, everyone was on ventilators. We weren't coping with it very well. Even simple things like I went in, I put my gloves on, put my gown on, tucked it all in, and they said, actually, that we don't need to do that because we realised that actually we should be, so we're bare below the elbows for infection control. And they're like, right, we've learned, there's so many things that we've learned from the first wave and different medicines as well. So I think they're getting better quicker. But I do think the NHS has crippled every winter with flus and just all of the cold, you know, with the older people. With children, we're really affected in the winter because that's our main admissions. They're respiratory, which is obviously worse when it's colder. So I think the second wave is going to be pretty horrific, and we're only just beginning it. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? We've started getting vaccinated, so that's good. I've had my first dose. They're getting 3 people, so that's reassuring. So
have you had any control by Bill Gates yet? Have you found yourself sort of blacking out and waking up in places you shouldn't be?
No more so than usual.
That's good.
That's good.
And did you do what you said you were going to do on your Facebook page and come out of the vaccination room with a couple of Alka-Seltzer in your mouth?
I didn't, and I feel like I missed a trick there.
You let me down a little bit, to be honest.
Not so funny for the people about to go in, but I would have found it brilliant. It would have been so much fun.
And, you know, tell us a bit about that. I mean, is it a standard vaccination? How big's the needle? Should people worry about this? Because there are a lot of people who are generally concerned about how this has been rushed through in bits and pieces.
Yeah, people say it's been rushed through, but coronavirus is COVID-19 is a form of SARS, which we've had vaccines for that. This isn't a new thing. It's just a different strain, which is obviously a lot more lethal than anything we've had before. So there were vaccines being made before all of this. They're just, and yeah, also when you look at what they do for vaccines, this is the entire world. Of course, everyone was working on it. Everyone was working night and day to make this happen. And they're certainly not going to risk everybody's lives by, they have to test things so much that, I mean, I haven't had any weirder side effects than, normal. But yeah, it's fine. It's unusual. And seeing a ventilated patient with COVID, I would much rather the vaccination than that.
Well, I think that's, I think it's really nice for people to get to the chance to hear this sort of stuff from a professional who's working at ground zero, technically. And that's going to help to reassure some people. So, it's good that you can sort of tell us about this. Let's have some music. We got 22. We're racing through the time. There's lots to say. You've been worried about this and nervous about this.
I was, yeah.
Look, we're chatting away like old friends.
Yeah.
It's all good. What you put a few songs together for me, and one of the ones that I was really, really chuffed that you asked for was Splendid Isolation, which we done back at the start of Lockdown 1 about 10 years ago, I think it was.
Okay.
And, thank you for asking for this. I'm going to play the video. I've got the video in. So let's play the video. This is Splendid Isolation by Radio FreakJam Lot.
Hi everybody, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce this version of Splendid Isolation by Radio FreakJam. Enjoy.
In my room, in splendid isolation, alone in the gloom, in splendid isolation. Sometimes I need to be left in my own company, so here am I, in splendid isolation.
There we have it. Splendid Isolation by Radio Freak Jam. And thanks to Sarah for choosing that. Everyone was loving that in the chat room.
Do you know what? I love that even more now that I've met so many of you. I'm like seeing your son on there, like, oh, I met him. He's such a sweet kid. That's really nice. Josh's beard wasn't quite as bushy as it is now.
It's lockdown. You couldn't get out to the shops to get a razor.
Well, there you go.
It's just
It's such a good song, though. I love it.
Talk about sons. You have 3.
I do have 3 sons. It's mental. Every day I'm like, I really got... No, they're amazing. They're such good boys.
Do you want to give them a shout out?
Yeah, Samuel, my youngest. My middle one's Christopher, 13. And my oldest, Matthew, who will be 15 on Saturday.
Oh, happy birthday to Matthew.
Insane.
You got any plans? Obviously, there's not a lot you can do. So what are you going to do for his birthday?
Well, not a lot. I mean, what do 15-year-olds want to do anyway? No, we haven't really got any plans, to be honest. We might do a downstairs sleepover. We do that every now and again. That's quite fun.
Movies, duvets.
These ridiculous amount of snacks. The boys got a little bit partial to Foster's over Christmas. Not in a bad way, not in like his mum's kind of way, but I might let them have a shandy. But yeah, I haven't really done anything because you can't do anything.
No, it's difficult at the moment. It really, really is. And but happy birthday to him, and I hope you make the best of it as you can. And shout out to all the boys.
Yeah.
So mum, nurse, you're learning ukulele.
I started, and then Christmas happened. I almost got to grips with Mr. Brightside. Although Phil did give me some good advice after I'd picked a song to learn, that maybe don't pick a song that you really love, because you play it so many times. I don't know how much I love it anymore.
I mean, learning an instrument is a case of repetition. Repetition. So, maybe pick something that you don't want to bore yourself on.
Yeah, but also because I knew it, I know it so well that I thought it was quite a good one, but I also wanted to play it better than Phil, but, it's not a ukulele.
Will we see you on the Freak Jam? Will you be joining us?
Phil's going, yeah. Maybe one day, but, I mean, not if I can avoid it.
There's no avoiding it here, Sarah. You know this. If you're going to get a song out, Phil's going to let me know. We're going to apply equal pressure from all sides, and then you'll be on here. Yeah,
maybe one day. It's just finding the time to sit and do it. That's the problem.
In all fairness, you put out a little clip. I can't remember what the clip was you put in our little group chat. And you've got a lovely voice.
Okay, thank you. For that bit. That tiny bit. But no, it's fun. I enjoy singing. It makes me happy. I've always enjoyed different types of music. Obviously, I love, it's been really nice recently going back to my teenage years, and weirdly, all of that kind of music didn't stop when I stopped listening to it. It's carried on, which is weird. Feels like there's been 8 albums from that band since then. What? I'm sure it stopped when I stopped listening. How did that happen? But
you went to school with rock stars.
I did.
Oh, drinks order coming in. Where'd you get that from? That's a really good idea.
Don't know. Apparently you can write things on the back.
Really? Like what?
Well, when we were at Bumbles, I think it was things like 4 shots of Jaeger, bottle of wine, 5 pints of whatever they were drinking. I can't really remember.
If I remember rightly, there were other words on there too.
Probably. It was so much fun though. Absolutely love those nights. They have to be highlights of this year.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I think for me as well.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, look at that. A service with a smile. Say hello, Phil.
Hey!
Oh, wrong one. That one. Where is he? He's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, back in. Hi, guys.
How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Really enjoying it.
I'm sorry, dude.
Well, I can't say that I'm off to a better man. What can I say?
I have to say, Phil took a long time to send me his answers back. I think he was stalling because he didn't want to have to go through this.
Oh, really?
I knew I couldn't win.
Hey, you didn't lose to Josh, so could have been.
If you'd have picked Josh from his answers, like sum your life up in one word, Mexico. I mean, you know.
I want to know what happened in Mexico, though.
You don't. You really don't want to know what happened in Mexico.
Okay.
That's a story for another time. We can't tell that live on air.
Okay, fair enough.
So you went to school with a rock star.
I did, and I only found that out recently. And he'd mentioned Jamie Lohman a few times, and I didn't twig at all. And then it came up again, and I went, I think I went to school with him actually. He used to hang about in this like leather duster. Yeah, no, he was a really nice bloke.
And he was the singer out of Reuben, wasn't he?
Yeah, apparently so.
I actually saw Reuben live at the LA2 with a bunch of other bands way back in the day. So yeah, there you go.
There you go. Oh yeah, I didn't know.
And you weren't always a nurse, were you? Or a nursery nurse?
No.
You've done some other jobs in your time, haven't you, Sarah?
I have.
Like worked at Butlins.
I did work at Butlins.
Which one did you work at?
I worked at Bognor. I went down there when I was 18. I was there for a year and a half, 2 years. I had so much fun.
Were you a redcoat?
No. I started off behind the bar and ended up as bar supervisor. So, yeah, it was loads of fun, especially the adult weekends. They were mental. Absolutely mental. But yeah, loads and loads of fun. I did see a lot of, okay, they weren't famous bands, but I did see a lot of, like, we had Complete Madness on every week.
Right.
And they were absolutely amazing. Loved them so much. But yeah, no, it was really good. Really good there.
So what else have you done? I mean, obviously, did you go straight into nursing? Is that all you've done all your life, or have you had other bits and pieces before that?
Basically, I was a childminder for a while,
right.
And while my oldest kids were small, I did that, and I went to college in the evening, did my MBQ while I was working full time, and then went off to work at a nursery. Absolutely hated it, and then I was then a community nursery nurse, so I worked as part of a health visiting team and school nursing. So I did all the baby clinics. I did a lot of mental health training for mums suffering with postnatal depression and stuff like that. Did baby massage, taught that. 1 and 2 year checks. It was I really enjoyed it, but it was a lot of safeguarding, and that takes its toll over a time. We kind of became glorified, not glorified, that's the wrong word, but kind of like social workers. And when you're going into households day after day, wanting to just take that child out of that situation, it does take its toll on your own mental health as well.
I'm sure it does. And again, you know, Tony works in a similar field through schools. And, you know, I've heard some stories. And again, I couldn't do her job either. So, you know, much respect. You've always been working and championing children. That's an amazing thing.
Yeah, my mum's always worked in childcare. So after school, when I was 13, 14, I'd go to the nursery that she works at and help with dinner times and stuff. So I was just always around it, really. And then I just went into a slightly more medical side of it. I didn't enjoy the childcare bit because I've got enough of my own kids to look after.
And now Phil.
Who needs more looking after than any of the children. So
I'm sure you'll get him up to speed. He seems quite bright.
Yeah, I mean, he's broadly intelligent. It's always been something I just can't imagine not doing a job where I don't look after people. It's either in your blood or it isn't, I think. So
it looks like they're sorting out in the chat room here that you and Phil are going to be doing a duet of Mr. Brightside on New Year's Eve.
I mean, I will have just done 2 long day shifts, and anything can happen when I'm that tired. Excuse me, plus alcohol. So never say never.
Look, it's 5 to 10. We're going to carry on a little bit if you're comfortable.
Yeah, why not?
You seem to be pretty chilled about this now.
Yeah.
So let's have another song. The other song you chose was Days Remain, Josh's band.
Love it.
And you asked for One More Day, if I remember rightly.
I've listened to that a lot. Since you played it on a Monday, your new Monday, like lunchtime I don't know what it's called, show.
The Wednesday lunchtime thing.
No, it was a Monday. I'm sure it was a Monday. Was it Wednesday? It was Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday, yeah. Lunchtime live, because it's really ingenious and clever. It's not. I could do with a better name for it, to be honest.
But yeah, you played it on that and I absolutely fell in love with it. It's such a good song.
Really. All right, well, this is Days Remain with One More Day, and a shout out to our very own Josh.
This world's gone silent. You wouldn't dare make a noise, and you've seen all that I have. When did we lose our voice? You were taken too early, and your memory remains. Yet somehow you hurt me. Anyway, and I hope you'll forgive me. I was a little too late, and it was never my intention to leave things this way. I've been slapped and awake now, and I can't clear my mind. You're looking down on me. This place has lost its time. Yeah, you were my weakness. Hey, you kept me strong. You'll always be with me, no matter how long. And I hope you'll forgive me. I was a little too late, and it was never my intention to leave things this way. And I hope you'll forgive me. I was a little too late, and it was never my intention to leave things this way. I would sacrifice it all just for one more day. I would sacrifice it all just for one more. I would sacrifice it all just for one more day. I would sacrifice it all just for one more. Most memories fade, but yours will stay the same. Most memories will fade. And I hope you'll forgive me. I was a little too late, and it was never my intention to leave things this way. Most memories fade, but yours will stay the same. Most memories fade, but yours will stay the same. Most memories fade, but yours will stay the same. Most memories will fade, yours will stay the same. Most memories will fade.
And that's one more day, but days remain there, and everyone's agreeing that's a good choice of song.
Such a good song. I might have played it on repeat quite a few times on Spotify.
Josh has earned 2p from your listening 1,000 times.
Oh, well, I think he's up to about £2.50 at this stage.
Oh, really? That much? Well done. Good work.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's such a good song.
So, obviously, university, that's going to be a big undertaking. You plan to do that soon?
Yeah, I mean, I'm applying. My deadline is 15th of January to start 2021, September.
And how does that, is that a full-time thing? Is that something you've got to slot in within your work, or?
No, so I looked at doing an apprenticeship, but actually you end up working plus doing the apprenticeship, and the way that they do it with that kind of degree is you work a lot with adults, and I don't really like adults, to be honest. So I'd much rather work with children. So I'm applying to Surrey to do paediatric nursing full time, which is terrifying because that means basically being unemployed and a student.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Broadly fine. It'll be broadly fine.
So it's fine.
You seem like someone who makes things work.
Yeah.
And to have such a bold plan like that, you must have an idea of what you're going to do. And look, again, seriously, we wish you every luck with that.
Thank you. Yeah,
what else is in the future?
I don't really know. I mean, that's kind of the plan at the moment because I'm at the top of my band at the moment. I'm band 4, and band 5 is like the next step. And then once you qualify as a nurse, there's so many job opportunities. So I can't do any more. I've certain things that, like this year I've done my bloods, so I can take bloods, I can do cannulas. So that's been nice. I love learning new stuff. So that's been quite nice. But I need to do this next step for my career. That's the way it needs to happen.
So that's the main focus now, is get through the next 3 years as a student. Jimmy says you do get a student discount on stuff.
Amazing.
Bonus.
And also 4 weeks off at Christmas.
Yep. And student bars are really cheap.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, I don't think I'll be probably at any student unions in my mid-30s, but you never know. I could teach them a thing or two. It's how you do shots, guys. But I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I get in.
I'm sure you will. You seem like a very tenacious person who puts a lot of sort of time and effort. And as I said, a big, bold plan ahead of you. You must have an idea this is going to work, and I'm sure it will.
Yeah, and without, being big-headed, I'm actually going to be a good nurse. And I kind of already am there. I just haven't done the official training. So, yeah, that's the plan for future.
Darren says if you do go to the student union, you'll show the kids how to party.
Yeah, well.
And Andy wonders, can you get some student union gigs?
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go, little sideline booking agency.
Amazing. I'm going to change my personal statement and add that in. That I feel like I could bring culture to the campus. I think that you're going to get a lot more people applying to Surrey, just knowing that Templeton Pack are going to be there on a regular basis. So
it sounds like you could bend this to your own will and make it work even better than you thought.
Yeah.
And ukulele, hopefully that is going to be in your future.
Yeah, I'm gonna practice them all once Christmas and birthdays and everything die down. I'm gonna I was really enjoying it, and it killed so many hours. And I've messaged Phil and go, is it normal that I haven't done anything for like 3 hours? I've just been sat here, my fingers hurt, but I cannot stop. So it's good fun.
I mean, have you had any musical experience, or as a kid, did you do music as learn piano or anything like that?
I did learn piano when I was really young, like before I left London. So I must have been about 6 or 7. I played clarinet when I was about 10 or so. But since then, so that's like a year ago. That would make me 11. That's weird. 25 years ago. But since then I haven't done anything like that. So it's fun. It's fun to learn something new.
I think you should, again, you know, talking about dealing with and coping with what you have to put up with every day. Music is a great way of expressing yourself and, as you say, losing yourself a few hours. And I don't know if you've seen it yet, but we watched Disney Pixar's Soul with the kids today.
Oh, I haven't.
Watch it. It's, you know, it's not one of their best, but it is good. It's very charming, and there's a heavy musical theme running through it. So go and watch that with the kids.
Yeah, I mean, they did when they saw me learning ukulele. My middle son did say to me, "Why can't you try and learn a real instrument, not a baby one?" And I was like, "Hang on a minute." But they did rip me a little bit for it. But then I did do a lot of Mr. Brightside, and Christopher went, "Hang on a minute, I actually recognise that song. What? That's weird because you can actually play it." So. I shouldn't say Greg it, should I? Because apparently I'm being bullied into doing it on New Year's.
It looks like New Year's might be happening. I mean, you don't know about it yet. Well, you do now.
Yeah.
But, so, you know, I'm going to look forward to that. I think that's great.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I mean, Phil's going to play guitar and I'll mumble something in the background.
Yeah, and play some uke along.
Maybe. We'll see.
You've got a few days to sort it out.
I'm working a lot between now and New Year's.
How much time off do you get? I mean, what sort of shifts patterns do you work?
So we do 3 weeks of 3 and 1 week of 4. So this week is my week of 3. So I'm doing 2 12.5-hour shifts Wednesday, Thursday, and then I think I've got 3 days off. So there's no set pattern. It's not like the fire brigades know their shifts like 5 years in advance because they do 4 nights, 4 days, 4 off. We don't get any such luxuries.
How many days do you get off?
Well, so we get 3 or 4 a week, depending on what shifts you're on.
Right.
But I couldn't imagine, one of the mums said to me today, I couldn't imagine doing 12.5 hours. And I said, well, I couldn't imagine working Monday to Friday. So, or like 5 days a week. Yeah, they're long shifts, but then I'll have like 3 or 4 days off. So it works out all right, really.
So is there anything else you do in your spare time? Obviously, you know, you're a big part of this now. You join us a lot. You've been learning a bit of uke, but, you know, what else does Sarah do? Has she got any other hobbies or interests?
I have no hobbies whatsoever. And that was something that was really difficult with internet dating. Like, oh, what do you get to in your spare time? I do a lot of washing, cleaning, tidying up after children. That's pretty much it, really.
Well, I'm pushing for the uke then. I think the uke is even more important in your life now. And, you know, Phil is making sort of noises out there that we should all lean on you to sing a bit as well.
Oh, God. I'm going to throw things at Phil, I think, if he's doing that. I enjoy it, but I don't know that people enjoy listening.
I thought it was his job to throw things at you tonight if you got out of line then. There we go. On cue, Phil. Well done, sir.
Dinosaur. I think I just had a dinosaur thrown at me.
Dinosaur's good. What type of dinosaur is it?
I don't know where it went. I was told earlier that they will get bigger and bigger until they're life-size. So God knows what's going to happen next. An entire T-Rex is coming at me.
Interesting. Well, look, I think we've had a lovely chat tonight, and I just want to say thank you for joining us. And I know it might seem a bit weird because, you know, as you said, well, you know, what's interesting about me? I've found it really interesting.
Thank you. It's been really nice. I can't believe you had me on.
Yeah. This is the whole idea of this show. I mean, obviously, you know, we are a music community, but there are those of you out there who don't engage in the music all the time. You like to listen, you like to be a part of the audience, and you like to show your support. And I like to talk to you as well. And this is Meet the Freaks is just about getting to know people a bit better. And I certainly feel, you know, things like you having to send your child away for 3 months to do your job. It's amazing. It's wonderful. And I didn't know that until now. So I think I've certainly learned a lot about you tonight. And obviously, you know, it's been just lovely to sit down and chill with you and have this time. So thank you for joining us.
It's been fun. Thank you. Thanks for having me. And thank you for doing what you do. Because I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have all these, what I now call friends. 9 months ago that I just thought, you know, these guys are quite funny, but I didn't know them. And then over time, getting to know people and then meeting everybody was amazing. And now, like, we all talk every day. Some days it's a lot. That becomes a full-time job as well. But no, it's great, and everyone's got me through stuff as well.
I think, yes, it is quite an intense community sometimes, but also everyone understands that we've all got other lives, and if we're not all constantly answering messages and posts and bits and pieces like that, it doesn't matter.
No.
You'll come on the next time, and you'll be just as welcomed as you were before. There's no pressure, and there's no egos, and that's what I like about all of this.
It's really good.
And that's why it works.
So, it's welcome to you, though.
Well,
you can't shy away from it. I wasn't even put up by Phil for saying it. But it was all because of you and Tony doing this every single Monday. No, Thursday. There's a lot
Monday.
of freak jams happen now. But yeah, starting with Thursdays has been amazing. And my video still stands from Thursday is one of the best nights of the week.
No, I really do appreciate that. And, I'm glad we can bring, a bit of light into not just all the musicians who are missing the jams, but people who are out there like yourself doing the hard work at ground zero. I'm glad we can spread a bit of cheer and put a smile on your face sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been good.
That reminds me, so Thursday, it's New Year's Eve, Sarah.
New Year's Eve.
Who the jammy?
Apparently, it's all going to get a lot better. Oh no, hang on, it's probably all going to be the same at midnight.
Boris is going to announce on New Year's Eve that we're not going into 2021. It's going to be the 32nd of December 2020. That's how it's going to work.
No, I'm actually really looking forward to Thursday. Everyone at work's like, oh, it's just New Year's, and especially this year, you can't even go anywhere. And I'm like, well, I'm going to see my boyfriend and hang out with a load of legends. So my New Year's is looking pretty good, thank you.
And we're going to have the Hooter Jammy, as it's now being called. And that's going to be fun. We're doing that from 9 through to about 11:45, and then we're all going to jump on a big Zoom call, start drinking properly, and have New Year with each other. So if you want to join us, look out for the post in the FreakJam group. You're more than welcome to come and watch the broadcast. All the slots are booked now, and then come and say hi on the Zoom. It's going to be silly, it's going to be mental, it's going to be lots of drinking, but we're going to have some fun, right?
Yeah, it's going to be lots of fun.
And then, do you know what? That is where my schedule finishes.
What?
Yeah. It's not finished, it's not over. I just
stop now.
Took a break at the end of there, and we will move forward into the new year as we have done for the past 9 months. We'll be doing more Meet the Freaks, there'll be jam nights, and there'll be Zooms and quiz nights and all the other stuff we've been doing. And I look forward to sort of, moving forward with all of this in the new year, really. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a pleasure to meet everyone, especially yourself, Sarah. And hopefully we can do more of this in the new year. And you can, 3 years' time, when you've got your degree and you're a nurse, you can come back and talk to us more.
Yeah, about more stuff, I think. One I'm really looking forward to is Meet the Freaks with Phil.
Yeah, we need to get that sorted. We do need to get that sorted because he took time out of his day to interview me. Now it's my revenge. I mean, my turn to talk to him.
Might even get a little video from Frank Turner. I've done that one.
That was amazing. That was amazing. Again, you've done really, really well with that for Phil's birthday, reaching out to Frank Turner and Gilbo out to the guy from Therapy as well. It was just amazing.
She doesn't go on about it at all that he said her name or anything. She never mentions it, so that's good.
She only done it for herself. She thought, if I look really selfless and say it's from my mate Phil, but could you mention me as well? Do you know what I mean?
She did amazingly well because it was down to the wire as well that she got that video in. It was really good.
There you go. Phil's saying maybe we could do an EP launch on Meet the Freaks, and I think that is a bloody good idea.
That's a really good idea. He does have good ideas sometimes.
He's not bad. He's not bad at all. I do like Phil. I've grown to love him. Obviously not as much as you.
Anything good.
Sorry?
It would be weird if you did.
Well, I don't know how much you love him, Sarah. I'm just guessing. Do you know what I mean? Have you got a thought for a song to play out on?
Oh God.
You ever think?
Against pressure.
Why do that? If you do want to support the show, guys and gals, go to www.buymeacoffee.com/Radio FreakJam. You can buy me and Tony a coffee there. thank you so much for everyone for joining us tonight in the chat room. It's lovely to see you all chatting away. And, I think we both better apologise to Tony, Sarah.
What? Oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Tony. Sorry, Tony.
Sorry, Tony.
I'm probably sleeping on the sofa tonight as well, so,
I definitely am. He's going to throw 4 dinosaurs at me and then go, right, you, there. What's happening? You threw that at me.
It's a whoopee cushion. Oh, come on. You can't have that and not use it. Nice. That was a wet one.
It was. Oh!
Any thoughts for a song to play out on? Frequency. Mary?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Right, I
Names.
need to find that. That's going to be in here somewhere. So, yeah, I do need another guest for Meet the Freaks on next week, next Monday.
Gillian Bond.
Do you think she would?
I mean, she's off work till the 11th of January, so...
Yeah. Well, maybe we can probe that. Maybe we can have a look into this and see if she can come and join us. That's wicked. Sarah, again, thank you for joining us. Thanks to Phil for letting him use your backdrop.
And Ainsley.
Yeah. Although there was mention in the chat room earlier, you should have a little cardboard cutout of Phil sat there.
Brilliant, yeah.
Do you want to announce this then? It's Hail Mary's the song title.
Thank you. It's Frequency, Hail Mary.
Stick around, we'll have a quick chat afterwards. Okay. See you later, guys. See you Thursday for the new year. No, we'll actually see you tomorrow. We've got Zoom tomorrow lunchtime, so come and join us for that if you're around. And we'll see you then. If not, we'll see you Thursday. Take care.
Prayers seem to be in vain throughout my childhood. 'Cause when I wanted anything, I'd sit and ask the Lord above. He would never answer me, so I took what I would need. I knew that those that misbehaved could ask the Lord and He forgave. He forgave, 'cause all I wanted you to be was my redeeming Hail Mary. All I wanted you to be was my redeeming Hail Mary. I'll be a pagan. I'll worship all them gods and unknown deities. If it would save us, I'd ask for penance down on bended knee. Like